Welcome to another episode of the Glint Standard. I'm Erina. This is Jamie,
Hello.
and we're talking about interactive marketing. So stay with us for the next 15 minutes. All right, Jamie. Oh my goodness, interactive marketing.
Interactive.
Yeah. So
It's interactive.
It's interactive. It's exactly what it says.
Yes.
So define it, and tell us why it's different.
Okay. So I would say.
And let's reduce how much we use today in this vid
we will
for
try.
our listeners.
We will try.
All right.
So it's
Good.
one way. I feel like we as a society and as marketing in general has experienced a shift from one-way advertising to interactive marketing.
So one way is like what?
Yeah, so when I mean one-way advertising, think of being sold to, right? I mean, you're looking at an ad, whether that's in a magazine, on a billboard. People barely do that anymore. What an old time. Or on Facebook, Instagram, you look at an ad, you click on it, it takes you somewhere else. Or if you're on YouTube and you see a running ad within your video, it kind of just, there it is. Here's the awareness of what you're looking at, and let's move on.
Your journey is that.
One way. Yeah. It is one way. Interactive marketing is essentially when a brand, an agency, whoever, starts to interact with their consumers, right? It's where you put a quiz on a newsletter or a VR tutorial somewhere, and you get the opportunity to interact with that brand in whatever content format that needs to be. But instead of being kind of sold to and being a, here's this ad, this is what I'm promoting, this is where it's going to take you. It's let's talk, let's have a conversation. How do I benefit you, and how are you going to benefit me? So that's how I would kind of define interactive marketing. We've been seeing a huge push of that recently with quizzes, experiential QR codes especially. I mean, take the Super Bowl for example. I think it was, I don't know if it was Bitcoin or a different that had the QR code bouncing along the screen for like 1 minute.
Drove me crazy.
Oh my God.
But effective.
So many people, I read somewhere that their website actually crashed because so many people wanted to interact with it, and they got up in the middle of the Super Bowl and did the code. So
you know what else? Cosmopolitan quizzes.
I love Cosmo.
I know. I mean,
love
they
Cosmo.
were in print.
Yes.
But now you can do them, or marketers can put quizzes online and have that back and forth.
And it's like, I'm creating this content.
I'm learning more about you.
And yes, you're learning about me as your consumer, and I'm learning about you as the brand. Like, oh, I didn't know I was the Harry Styles of my friend group, but here we are. Cosmopolitan
that's
quizzes.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what they usually are.
I think the key thing is knowing your audience better with that interaction, so that you can provide,
you get a lot of value out of it.
Yeah, and you can provide messages that really make them go, that resonate.
Yeah, this is a brand that I'm interested in now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So interesting. Okay, so interactive is beyond one way, it's two-way. Excellent.
Transactional.
Why do you think, and we might have talked about this a little bit, but why do you think that there's been such a shift? Just to state it for our listeners.
I feel like because we've come so far in the digital landscape, I mean, we can talk about the metaverse later, but I mean, we're almost coming to a point when we're living in a whole virtual reality. That's what the metaverse is, but I mean, we're not there yet, but we've come so far digitally as consumers, and we're tired of being sold to, as you said the other day. I mean, no one wants to constantly be just hammered with things that you don't think you're interested in, because interactive marketing, I feel like, gives you a reason to be interested in it. Like, why should I be interested in this? It's because I'm providing you with this type of value before you even become a customer at this point.
And also I think we just want to be listened to.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, we want somebody to get us.
That is true.
And we have the technology to make that happen.
Yes, I think consumers are really smart now.
Smarter.
We are way smarter.
Yeah, and we have more access.
And also...
So why not step up to the plate and do what you need to do as a marketer, as an advertiser?
Yes. Yeah. I also think, and this is just my opinion, I think that COVID really shifted how we did things in general, and it all comes back to being tech savvy, right? I mean, people don't want to touch tangible things anymore, and with the digital experience, you have more opportunities to make it interactive. So it was almost like an essential step, and instead of wanting to do it, we kind of had to do it, because how do you keep someone's attention online for 2 seconds longer than if I were just to say something to you? Yeah. So I do think COVID is a big change. COVID changed everything, but I think it's a big it launched us into an even more advanced digital experience as people.
Digital experience. You're saying that?
Yes.
Experience is everything.
Yes.
That is a key word. It is enhancing the consumer journey through a really beneficial experience. So how do you create that? So that's a good segue into, if somebody were to start from scratch, if a marketer or an advertiser wants to up their interactive game, where do they go? What do they do? What could they do tomorrow? And then what could they do maybe 6 months from now?
Right. I think it would be good for marketers to start with, obviously, experiential marketing. I mean, if you look at how you are as a consumer and how, I mean, you said it the other day, you are such a consumer. You're here for the experience, right? I mean, there's so, like, people don't buy homes, they buy comfort. People don't buy watches, they buy luxury. Like, you're buying things for the experience. And I feel like when you capitalize on that in any way that you can, then it'll be better in your favor. And I also think, aside from the experience of it all, of interactive marketing, you can implement quizzes in your email campaigns. I mean, you were talking about us doing that with our campaign recently, if you want to touch on that.
Our outreach to credit unions, we used an interactive tactic, quizzes, and we talked about what type of credit union marketer are you, and that could apply to CEOs, it could apply to frontline staff, anyone. And then we've also incorporated quizzes into client work and client emails.
Do you feel that that's easy to do as a marketer?
Yes.
Okay. The short answer, yeah.
Well, yes, but I think that there needs to be some thought put into it a little bit, because you can't be flippant. You have to really somewhat know and research the consumer before you produce something and put it out there, and then you'll get more information to strengthen it later.
And that's the value, right? And we're just speaking on quizzes.
Yeah, I know. One thing.
The value is getting their information back.
But when you were saying that I'm such a consumer, I am. Y'all, I really am. I bought a cubed pillow. I won't say who and what product.
Why?
Because there was a quiz to add, back on quizzes, we're gonna wear this to death, that asked me what type of sleeper I am, and then there was this diagram of the body, and now if you sleep wrong, it can affect your spine, and so I bought it.
Oh no!
I bought it.
I don't think I would ever buy a cubed pillow.
It's great though. I have to say.
So you've slept on it, and you
yeah.
think it helps? What does it help your spine or something?
I sleep really well.
Oh.
I don't really know that. but I'm not sure they care about that yet. Although they should gather a testimonial from me while I'm hot.
Let's push beyond the interactive point.
Well, and put my testimonial on their video. And
that's actually smart.
Yeah,
so I hope whoever you bought this from is listening to this podcast.
I hope so
they know their next steps.
I also do.
So
what would you... Yeah.
Okay, so I also have another example kind of like yours. When I don't remember what website and what company it was, but when I was moving into my apartment, a lot of furniture companies do this. Virtual reality and augmented reality are a huge part of interactive marketing too. Aside from quizzes and QR codes. But basically, I mean, we're just listing a few examples, but with VR, there are so many ways that you can put that into like real time and what you're doing instead of, I feel like when people think of VR, they think of like a headset, but there are apps that you can have, and that's what this company did. I forget who it is. I wish I had the name.
Did they like tour
Yes,
people?
and like I would put a nightstand or like a, I don't know if nightstand is the correct word, but you know, like a bed stand that has like a lamp and stuff. And I place it on my app next to my bed to see how it would look in my room.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Right.
But I see how it looks in my room and it's like, oh, I don't think this is the vibe, but this is the vibe. Like, here's the other one, you know?
That's a good example. I do that with my eyeglasses.
Yes.
Vendor.
Glasses places are actually really good with that too.
Yeah.
I know.
Now that seems overwhelming to some people.
Maybe.
But there's always support.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's
if you
true.
partner with an agency to help you achieve that,
that
might be a good
true.
long-term plan or to incorporate in your interactive
That is
marketing
true.
programs.
VR doesn't have to be hard. That can be a whole different podcast.
That is.
But
That's
I
a
don't
misconception.
I don't think it has to be hard. You do have to kind of build it out with an agency or
vendor partner,
someone who is tech savvy, but it will significantly help you in the long run, and it'll also make your brand appear more progressive.
Yeah,
I feel like, because that's the way we're going anyway.
Improving the consumer experience.
Yeah, exactly.
What about calculators?
Calculators
That's
too.
another way
for
that we see all the time, but we don't think of that as an interactive marketing.
Yeah,
tactic.
I'm not a math whiz, so I don't really like calculators, but if I see one, I might mess around on a website.
Oh my goodness!
Didn't you do one with auto or like your car?
I did. I was kind of car shopping. Don't tell my husband. But you know, I work, so and I used a calculator. It's very, very helpful.
Like on the website, because it budgets it
right.
Budgets it out for you.
Does. And it was
you're
the scenario.
You're interacting with a marketing avenue,
brand.
even if you don't think you are.
True.
And that's interactive marketing.
You know what's something that people do all the time, and they may not think of it as interactive marketing? Tokenizations, like in emails. So, you know, dear Erina.
Yes.
Personalizing it.
Yes.
Yeah, that is something that you're probably already doing.
Yeah, that's like base level interactive. You know, like easy to do.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
That's a good one.
I would also say social media is a good way, and that's like organic, interactive, connecting with consumers, messaging them back and forth. It's not necessarily building a whole virtual reality app or creating a quiz, but you can create a poll on, say, your Facebook profile and have your consumers answer questions.
True. Or LinkedIn.
Very true. Interactive.
And if you respond to messages that are on social media, pay a little bit more attention. That's a way of paying attention to your interactive marketing tomorrow.
Very true.
You know, or today.
Very true.
You can jump on it today.
Very true.
It's good to see that there are things that you can do tomorrow.
Simple steps.
Do 6 months.
Yeah.
Do in a year.
Work your way up.
Yep.
And partner with an agency. I'd say that's a great closing statement.
It's a great closing. Only because if you want your brand to have polish and to build credibility, it's important to partner with experts.
Yes.
And it's okay. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in having help.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Well, thank you for Throwing out that call to action there. And I would say, everyone, please subscribe to our channel. You can visit our website, glintadv.com. Subscribe to our newsletter where we break down content and topics just like this one in bite-sized pieces so that you can comprehend it in the best way for you.
Yes. Oh, and read our blog.
And read our blog.
Experiential marketing. There's one out there.
Yes. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Have a good one. Give us a thumbs up if you like this episode. And also leave us some comments or questions. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, go right here. And if you want to watch past episodes, check it out right there.